Power here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a few things to help you with tower fights, specifically like when you're actually going into the tower to fight. So the first tip I'm going to give here is when you use one-handed or two-handed. And in towers, it's basically all close quarters or very close. So ranged weapons that increase your reach aren't going to be as valuable. Allow you to use a shield are going to increase in value. So I use the axe. I'm using a stone axe because an axe has 9 damage, basically from stone level upwards until you get to high tier stuff. So that's why I use it, because you can shield and only get in one hit, and it will recharge while you're shielding. They give you the most damage per hit with a shield. Oh no, there's 3 of them. Okay, and then that brings us to our next tip, which is two-handed weapons with a shield. As you can see here, I did a quick swap, so I have a shield and a great sword. Where I'm trying to make a video. Okay, let's patch up the roof real quick. Oh, this is another use of the great sword. It's a sword, so it can break cobwebs. Anyways, so you can use your sword and switch to your sword after dropping your shield in a hotbar slot, so that you can use a two-handed sword while your primary is a one-handed weapon. Next up is why the great sword over any other two-handed weapon. Because the great sword has... Okay, hold up, I'm probably going to struggle here. The great sword has great sweep, so it's a lot better at taking out the large groups of them. Oh, okay, yeah. So, while as your other weapons aren't going to be as good for doing that, your great sword's going to be good. The next one that conveniently fits here is healing. So as you can see, before healing, I blocked off this area so that none of them can get here. It's also important to know where the avenues of attack are on a tower. So when I block off here and everything else is here, the only way they can get in is here. Plus, another thing while healing is you're going to want to keep your head and your body healed to full health, because that's how you get 1 tap or like 8 tap, with the exception of if you're like extremely low on healing. The other thing is you don't want to fight spiders on the low ground. You want to fight them where you have the advantage. So like flat ground is good. Oh. You also want to check your flanks every now and again, just to make sure you're not going to die. And then here, for example, is where the sweep from the greatsword really comes into use. Though. Okay, that took me way too many hits. Another tip when blocking off areas is that you can put 1 block here, and then if you're being chased down, you only have to break 1 block, and it still blocks off the thing, so that nothing can get through. But you only have to break 1 block if you need to break it in the retreat. The other thing is stairs. So stairs are very good because they let you do this, depending on like how much level of cheese factor you're willing to accept. You might not use that. Like, I don't use it because if I wanted to cheese it, I could just run all the way up and just do it. That's also a thing. You can just... hold up. Alright, well, this brings us to our next tip. Jumping off. This may only work in like specific battle tower scenarios, because not every battle tower has a bunch of water near it. Some battle towers have trees, which will negate a good percentage of your fall damage. Another thing you want to keep in mind when you're healing is that your arms and your legs are right next to your body. So if one of your arms or leg breaks, the rest of the damage will go potentially to your body, depending on how you took the damage. So be very careful on what you do with that. Alright, and this is why you jump out of the tower when you have to. Because they will chase you down, as well as you can also see the effectiveness of that one dirt block versus multiple, because I only had one dirt block there. I could break it and not take a ton of damage while trying to escape. Another thing is debuffs. You always want to make sure that you have no debuffs. They will really take attacks on you. The other thing to consider is weapon durability. Because I always use stone axes, the stone axes here have different durabilities than like an iron tool that would be a lot more durable. So you want to make sure that you always have materials to craft more of your cheaper tools. If you quick swap to something that you don't have an empty space next to, you will get mining fatigue. Oh, we unlocked a new chest. Okay, that's great. The other thing you always want to keep in mind is that there's holes in the roof. So they can drop down. If I had a ton of blocks right now, I would probably patch those up. Also, another thing that helps, if you have audio, you can hear them ahead of time before you get down to the floor and battle them. Okay, looks like there's like a very high percentage of holes in the ground right now, so we can't really patch these up. We're just gonna push to the next level here. Okay, looks like there's a bulwark poisonous darkness blast off, so nothing important other than poisonous, but we have a Bezoar, which is definitely a key when fighting spiders. Another option, if you don't want to like cheese the tower but you still want to have a choke point, you can do just one block so they can still attack you, but you'll be a lot better now. Another thing that will make the game a lot harder is the mobs that go through walls. Be careful of those. Oh, we got a Wither Skull. Another use of the Great Sword is if your weapon doesn't have reach 1, you can hit the spiders that crawl up on the walls. That's also a use of it. Of course, you'll always have moments like those where you can't control it, but you'll get used to it. The other thing you want to make sure of is that you have enough bandages or whatever other medical supply you're using to heal yourself constantly. And now it's time to gather up some of the loot. Oh, hi there. Oh no, don't burn up all my stuff, please. That'd be very inconvenient. Also, another battle tower thing that will save your life is knowing what weapons work best for what enemies. Like, for example, I know that for spiders, I always like to use just the normal iron sword because it's just that good. And then for skeletons, I always want to use the axe. For zombies, the great sword is best. So there's all those different weapons. Knowing which ones to use is important. Well, that's going to be it for this video. If you want to see more videos, make sure to like and subscribe. I also, yes, I have been this rich the whole time. I was just using iron armor to offset like the frames, so it's more like the average RLCraft player's experience. Anyways, see you guys later. Bye.